The 2025 Royal Rumble is just around the corner. And with that, the entire landscape of WWE changes from now all the way until their biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. So the Royal Rumble has a lot of importance. One wrong move can make it a good Rumble or make it a bad Rumble. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about the best and the worst outcome scenarios for this year's Royal Rumble. Before we get into that, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. It means the world. Lets me know you love me. But without further ado, let's get into it. Best case scenario, we have a first time winner for the Rumble. The Rumble, you know, everybody likes to fantasy book who they want to win. And whenever it's a first time person, it's usually exciting because just of how important the Royal Rumble is. So you have notable people who haven't won it, like a CM Punk, a Io Sky, a Jade Cargill, maybe even a Jey Uso. Just seeing that first time not having a repeat winner, it gives a little spark to it. So having a first time winner will be a best case scenario here. Worst case scenario, we get someone who's been a recent world champion to win this Rumble. If you haven't noticed, in Triple H's WWE, a lot of these title runs tend to be extended. Like you look at Roman Reigns' title reign, Seth Rollins, who held it for nearly a year, Gunther, who has held it since August after just coming off a record Intercontinental reign. Yeah, Nia Jax, who held it for 5 or 6 months basically. You have a lot of these world titles that are people who have held it for a while and are still in the mix. So to have someone who's just came off a reign to win the Rumble and be right back into it is not exactly the most exciting prospect. You know, so like I said, a Seth Rollins were to win it, maybe a Damian Priest, a Nia Jax, a Liv Morgan, who basically held the title hostage for 2024. If any of them were to win, they would go, do we really want to go this way? So, yeah, kind of a worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we get several WrestleMania storylines started at the Royal Rumble. Now, the Royal Rumble has always been a spot for feuds to kick off to WrestleMania. Like just a couple years ago, we had Seth Rollins and Logan Paul really kick off. When Logan eliminated Seth, that really kicked off their feud, leading to a pretty good match at WrestleMania 39 that year. So here's hoping that, you know, a rivalry kicks off with a surprise elimination, or people who we thought were friends taking out each other, or maybe a tag team, one person takes out the other. Either way, let's get some juicy storylines going for WrestleMania. If that happens, best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we have no surprises in the Royal Rumble. Traditionally, you know, each Rumble has had like one or two, whether it be like an NXT call up or a old legend returning or someone returning from injury. If this year we get nobody coming back, or at the time TNA's Knockouts or women's champion Jordynne Grace, which is big because that's someone from a different company coming in to one of the biggest, you know, shows of the year for WWE. So if we don't get anything like that, especially with the recently announced NXT TNA partnership, it's a waste, frankly, and it'll be a little boring to have a Royal Rumble of all main roster superstars. No offense to anybody doesn't make it, but a surprise is great. So if there was no surprises, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we get some cool ass spots. Now, newer fans might not know this, but if you've been a fan for like a decade, or, you know, 2 decades, or, you know, in my case by about 25 years about to be at this point, we've seen some cool spots at the Royal Rumble. Like where there's like a surprise elimination, like Maven taking out Undertaker back in day. There was a decade run of like Kofi Kingston doing anything possible to avoid elimination. And even so much in 2023, Ricochet and Logan Paul, you know, going opposite ring, going like just splat into each other over the ring, you know, so many feet in the air. The Royal Rumble always provides plenty of opportunity for highlights. So if we get at least a couple, which with all the superstars involved and expected to be involved, that would be a best case scenario. Worst case, the last 5 spots in Rumble is just not fun. 26 to 30th entries for the Rumble are best when saved for either surprises or your top stars, the people who have a shot. You know, we look back at, especially that 30th spot, we look back at John Cena in 2008 returning super early from a torn pec that was expected to keep him out longer. And then even, some might not like it, but a cool spot was 2016? Triple H came back into the ring and won himself the WWE title in the Royal Rumble. Yes, that happened. Please go look it up. But having those stars, having your biggest stars in that late round, getting the people juice like, oh, this person can win, this person can win, is, to me, and this is just, you know, not no data to back it up, it's just me talking, a need for a good Rumble. And if you screw up that, especially that 30th spot, not getting into like a star at least, or you look at a 2014 when, yes, I know there's stipulation to be in the Rumble, but not having your biggest star at the time, Daniel Bryan, in the Royal Rumble, especially that last spot when people were just clamoring for him, and it turned out to be like a Rey Mysterio, which everyone loves Mysterio by the time he was no Daniel Bryan. That can have people turn on the Rumble. Or in like 2015 when not having Daniel Bryan win it could help turn people on the Rumble. Didn't help that Roman Reigns, so at the time people hated lost. But saving those last 5 spots for surprise returns, your biggest stars or anything is a key. And if you don't do that this year, WWE, kind of a worst case scenario. The best case scenario is picking the right winner for the Royal Rumble. If you look back to those 2014, 2015 Rumbles, they were actually pretty decent, but the winner for 2014 Batista, the winner for 2015 Roman Reigns were not looked on fondly, especially 2015. Roman Reigns won the match, got booed, and they brought The Rock out to try to get some fanfare, and he got booed too. So you know how you can see, like, you do good, but miss the landing. It could hurt the Royal Rumble tremendously, which is why the best case scenario is picking for this year is picking the right winner. And I got about like 5 or so men and probably about 4 or 5 women who should be in the conversation to win it. And if they win it, it will make most people kind of happy. For the women, I have Io Sky, Jade Cargill, a Naomi, a Bianca Belair, maybe. I'm throwing a 5th one. 5th one's a maybe. Little surprise pool. Alexa Bliss. Now, if any one of those won, I think the fans would be accepting of the win and but, oh, cool, this is great. For most of them, it's someone different, and we'll get potential cool match at WrestleMania with the current champions being Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. For the men, I have about 6 for the men about who I think if they won, people would be happy for. Roman Reigns, John Cena, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, and if he were to return, it would be cool, a Randy Orton. Now, any one of those wins, it sets up between Cody and Gunther, who are the current champions, and gives us really cool matchups, really cool feuds leading to the Rumble. But we're going to narrow that down into who I think should win the Royal Rumble match itself. So for the women, I'm really torn between a Io Sky and a Jade Cargill. I would throw Bianca in there, but I'm gonna go back on one of my first points. A first-time winner, I think it'd be cool. It will usher in some more mega stars. So for that, I think the winner for the women should be Io Sky, who was competed in a women's title match at last year's WrestleMania. She was the champ going in, lost to Bayley, and has been, if you really think about it, has been losing more than winning, like big singles spots the last year. Has still done a great job being a star of Raw, even like just below the Liv Rhea Dom bullshit. She's been the anchor of the division and should be rewarded and go into WrestleMania. Like, and I hope the God challenges Rhea if Rhea's still champ, because Rhea will be. So Sky, I'm pulling for you, and I think you're gonna win the Rumble. For the men, I am legitimately torn between two names. You have one hand CM Punk, who's never won a Rumble, whose biggest goal that he yet to accomplish in WWE is to main event a WrestleMania, and winning that, the star power would definitely guarantee a night one main event without a shadow of doubt. No questions, depending on who he faces, depending on how it goes. Could be a night two main event. We'll see. And then you have a returning Randy Orton, who I think, should he win, sets up Randy Cody feud for the WWE title, which would be all-time greatness. You know, those two legends together. Randy can revert back to his Viper ways and all that kind of stuff, and start dropping Cody on his head and start punting people and hitting RKOs and all that kind of stuff. It would be awesome. But I've heard other people say this, and I agree. If CM Punk were not to win this year, I don't think he ever wins a Rumble. This is probably the last year CM Punk could realistically win a Rumble going to Mania without it just being I don't want to use pity win, but it would feel like that. So my Rumble winner, first time winner, CM Punk. So there you go. My predictions for the Rumble matches are Sky and CM Punk. And to me, if they win, that is absolutely a best case scenario. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. But let me know in the comments, do you think I'm wrong with my Rumble predictions? And do you think there's any other points that need to be made about best and worst case scenarios in the Royal Rumble? Let me know. I would love to read them. But once again, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means the world. On all other socials, I'm at It's Heartfelt. But for right now, I am just Heartfelt. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy the Royal Rumble. Peace.